guys, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. G13 Sports and Plus. Usually I'd have my main little man with me, Caden, but he's not here with us right now, and he's not really a Formula One guy. We're going to go over the Formula One results today. Drama early, as I believe it's Sergio. Can't pronounce his last name. Not Sergio, but Leclerc for Ferrari on the formation lap loses hydraulic pressure and goes into the barrier and is out of the race in the formation lap. That wasn't it for the drama early on. On the start, turn one, I believe we had 3 drivers go out at the start of the race. I believe Magnussen was one of them. Other than that, nobody else really important. And then red flagged for a good bit. Just another Max Verstappen day. Spoiler alert before we get to the end. He wins. After the red flag, they had another standstill start. It ended up being a pretty clean restart. And then Norris was getting a charge on Verstappen. Looked like, we might see a shift in how the races have been going here recently, actually all season. Opened up DRS on a stretch and got next to Verstappen and didn't complete the pass. And Verstappen was like, I'm gone. He drove off in the sunset. So the next 60-some laps, it was just Verstappen just increasing his lead like we've seen all season. Let's see, we had Lewis Hamilton and George Russell struggled all day with pressures, not pressures, but temperature, engine temperature, brake temperature, and their tires. They did not have it today. And the Mercedes, you're looking like as these races, you watch these races, they're getting ready to make that next step, and it's just like they can't get past this brick wall they're facing. Lewis finished 8th, and George Russell actually did not finish because of temperatures. He had to retire the car. That was the storyline of the race, was Mercedes struggling. If I remember correctly, last year, was it Russell? I know Lewis won this race 2 years ago. I want to say George won this race last year. So, it was looking like this could be the race Mercedes got over their hump, and it wasn't. So, just like you would expect, that was the only storyline. You're like, what's Mercedes going to do? Norris finished 2nd, and Fernando Alonso and Sergio Perez finished 3rd and 4th. And that really was the most exciting part of the race, was the last lap. Perez was in 4th. Perez is Verstappen's teammate with Red Bull. He hit DRS on the short stretch of the track, I do believe, and overtook Fernando Alonso. And he kind of pulled a gap for a second, but Fernando's not a bad driver. He just, watching him here recently, I'm feeling like he's getting ready to take that next step too. He's got more to give, is what I'm trying to say. So on the next, long enough stretch for Alonso to open up his DRS, he opened and overtook Perez. It was a 2-lap battle. Coming to the line, the last long stretch, Perez opened up his DRS and came side by side with Alonso at the finish. And Alonso took P3, got on the podium with a 1/10 of a second left. So, it's just, Formula One's one of those series where you watch it if you enjoy the strategic, technical side of racing. It's not like, how it is here in America. We have the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series, where they're beating and banging on each other. These cars really can't do that. It's a lot of give and take. It's a lot of strategy. That's another storyline. We thought we were going to see an off strategy by the Mercedes because they were struggling so much. They, came over the radio. We're going to go Plan B. And I think it took so long for them to decide that they were going to go to Plan B. They never did. So we never saw that excitement. Um, but other than that, I mean, obviously Verstappen, he's clinched the title. Um, we're looking for Lewis to challenge. Lando Norris is coming on strong. Perez, he was the crowd favorite. He's a Mexican driver. They're in Brazil, and it's close to home for them. When that fight with Alonso at the end was going back and forth, the crowd was alive finally. And you just you watch these races, and it's like, what am I watching this for? Well, I think you learn a lot more watching F1 about cars than you do NASCAR. NASCAR, you're into the show the whole time. It's beating and banging. It's you're so used to seeing off strategies in NASCAR, that's no big deal. In Formula One, an off strategy could ruin your season. Points are hard to come by in F1. So that's the recap for the F1 race today. Let's see, any other storylines we had today? Leclerc, yeah, the Ferrari. He was looking to be strong today. I believe he was started P2. So you were looking for him to actually to do something today. What else we got? Well, let's go. Our DNFs are George Russell, Valtteri Bottas. I can't. Guan Yu, Magnussen, Leclerc, and Albon. So, I mean, I say so far this year the favorite race has been Qatar. This race really wasn't exciting. Thank you for Alonso and Perez for putting on show at the end. I mean, the fans have to love that. They pay money to go to these races, and F1 is the passes are hard to come by, but when passes do happen, it's very exciting. Norris gave a charge to Verstappen at the beginning, and Verstappen said, "I'm not playing no more. I'm gone." So that's the F1 recap for the day. Later on today, we got the Championship 4 coming in NASCAR. NFL is going on right now. I watch NFL, but to talk about it, there's so much going on in NFL, and I have some buddies who talk NFL, and we'll get into what I'll give a shout out to them here soon. If you really want like football talk, these are the guys, but we'll get to them soon. I'll give a shout out. I'll tag them, and you guys go over to their page. You'll probably enjoy their page better if you're a football fan. I'm pretty much going to be sticking to the racing, wrestling side of things. My son's usually going to talk with me. We already have one up we talked about Crown Jewel, and OG Fortnite came on. He's real excited about OG Fortnite. So that's where we're at with me and my son. I've always, promised my son we'll do something with YouTube. We'll do something on the social media platforms. We'll get you on Facebook. We'll have fun as father son. We need something we can do together, and this is something we're going to do. I'll come off and do my own thing because Formula One he can't get into, NASCAR he can't get into. I'll talk some college football. I'm a big Florida State fan, so we just that's not live. Anyways, we're just going to talk. Me and my son, he's 10 years old, and we'll throw some other things in there. I'll try to open up, but I'm going to try to steer away from certain things that I don't know much about. I just started getting back into NASCAR and Formula One this year. I kind of kept it in the back of my head, would read the headlines, for years, but I really got back into racing, this year. So I enjoy talking about that. Just really have no one to talk to with about it. So with that being said, thanks for joining me, today on G13 Sports Plus. This plus means here in a minute I'm going to go outside and play with my German Shepherd. I'm going to videotape that because I know a lot of people struggle with training dogs. So we'll give some insights on what I've done. It's just going to be an open house of everything what we talk about here. Well, we're at our satellite studio is what I'll call it. It's my mom's house. But yeah, give us a like if you see this. Appreciate you joining me. I'm not a good talker. I enjoy talking about it. So give us a click, give us a watch, share us. Let people know, hey, I got this guy. He's not very very informative, but he'll give you the recaps, you know. So I think that's all we got, you know. Usually I'm used to talking to my son or someone else. I don't know how to end a show alone. How do we do this alone? Do we just say bye, come up there, turn off the camera? Yeah, well, you know what? Have a good day. We're going to give a recap on the NASCAR Championship 4 later. And oh, my son wants to do a Big Brother recap tonight after, you know, they're in their Final Four for Big Brother. So we'll be doing a recap about that. Our favorite people are already out. So, you know, we're just getting this thing rolling. Be patient with us. It'll get better as we go along. All right.